Acurx Pharmaceuticals is working on a treatment for C. diff, which is a common bacterial infection. And they are seeing some promising results from clinical trials so far. So with me, CEO David Luci, great to have you back and get an update on this, because I know these trials have been very promising for you. So bring us up to date on the completed phase 2B clinical trial. What did you see there?
Excellent. So far what we've seen, and we have two more critical endpoints to announce, which we'll do in the coming weeks. So far what we've seen is 96% of our patients, 25 out of 26 in fact, are cured at the end of treatment, and 25 out of 25 who were cures at the end of treatment are sustained cures. So what that shows us is that in the $4.7 billion recurrent C. diff market, if we can continue that in phase 3, we will significantly impact the size of that and save billions of dollars for Americans.
Can we take just a second and talk about C. diff real quick and kind of lay the groundwork? Like, explain this and what a big problem it is.
Sure. C. difficile is an infection in the colon caused largely by antibiotics that cause dysbiosis, or an imbalance in the bacteria in your gut, your microbiome they call it. So there's a cottage industry now of microbiome therapeutics to try to supplement what antibiotics do to treat C. diff. So C. diff is over $1 billion market, and the recurrent C. diff market is caused by patients whose dysbiosis causes more infections. So what we're showing is that we're not only showing thus far, heading into phase 3, better efficacy data at the end of treatment, we're showing that all of our patients are sustained cures. And in the coming weeks, we're going to describe for the first time ever, the first antibiotic, ours, to treat C. diff patients is going out 94 days to show if we're still extended cures that far out. No one's ever gone north of 60 days. So that's a first time thing. If we still have all cures at that extended cure date, 94 days out, and the microbiome head-to-head data will be presented in that same release, that would be fundamentally changing of the treatment paradigm for C. diff.
And C. diff is particularly common in hospitals and nursing homes. In fact, I think I told you my husband's uncle has C. diff. It's a very serious situation. He was very sick with that. So. Yep,
600,000 patients per year incidence in the U.S., 20,000 people die. It's life-threatening.
So you mentioned in your last earnings call about the phase 3 trials and how you plan to pay for that. So talk about the financing strategy. How much will those trials cost?
So our best estimate right now, in advance of the post-phase 2 FDA meeting, which we will have with the FDA in the second quarter, our best guess right now is somewhere in the neighborhood of $15, maybe $18 million for the first of the 2 phase 3s. So our plan is to run them sequentially or consecutively, not concurrently. We'll do a smaller phase 3 first. Numbers to be decided with the FDA, and hopefully with the enthusiasm we see on the NASDAQ from that trial data, we will raise additional funds for the second phase 3. We already put up in mid-November 15th an ATM, which is $17 million in total, to add to our $9 million that we had at the end of the last quarter. So we're in pretty decent shape right now going into phase 3.
Yeah, shocking how much those clinical trials can cost. So would you seek a large pharma partner to work on a clinical trial?
Oh, absolutely. Our goal from the beginning was to attract a large pharma partner after phase 2. Phase 2 now being over, we're getting calls. We're formally going to start our M&A process in late January, when we have all of the data, including the head-to-head microbiome comparison and the extended cure data. So that's when it'll formally start, but we've informally started it long ago, and I'm sure I've already met the buyer. I think we just have to continue conversations that are ongoing. But we'll do that alongside preparing for phase 3, because we're not two sides of one transaction, and we have to see if we get an offer, and if we do get an offer, what the board considers appropriate value, and we have to maximize shareholder value one way or the other. But it's two great options to have.
So what should investors know about maybe some upcoming milestones? What are some important dates and things they should look for?
So I think in the month of January we should have our final two big endpoints out from the phase 2b trial. That's the microbiome head-to-head and the extended cure data. Both of those things will show the kind of impact our drug will have on the recurrent C. diff market. Again, $4.7 billion market. If the data holds in phase 3, what we're seeing so far, we think that'll be really exciting news for us. Then we go into the FDA meeting, and then after the FDA meeting, we're going to take everything that we've done in the U.S. development process, and we're going to add an international phase 3, and then we're going to go to the European Medicines Agency. So we won't have to replicate the tens of millions we've spent in the U.S. development thus far in Europe. We don't have to do it over again. All we have to do is make sure we have European sites in phase 3, and then when we file for approval, or a partner files for approval in the U.S., they can immediately file for approval in Europe without another 10 years.
Okay. So the first quarter sounds like it's going to be quite pivotal for you and the company.
Oh, it'll be packed. It's a really exciting time. But there's all of the critical endpoints that we needed to happen have now happened. So now we can relax, enjoy the Christmas holidays. Still have your invite.
That's right, and I'm sure you'll be back in January to update us on all the results. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much, David.
Thank you, Jane.